Hello, this is Tri Coach Emily again. Welcome to Silverfit. Today we will continue to work on our biomechanics and remember those three things that we've been working on: your heart, your muscles and your brain. So let's get warmed up first. For now, keep your feet hip width apart. We're just going to wave your arms above your head and down. Make this a fluid movement, engaging your shoulder blades at the back. Try not to let your shoulders hike up. We're keeping those shoulders down. We're waving your arms. Now we're going to start opening and closing our hands while we wave those arms. Grip strength is really important in life. For everything that you do, you need to engage those thumbs and the grip. So we're going to open and close our hands while we wave your arms. 2 more. Now we're going to switch to wiggling our fingers while we wave up and down. Pretend you're playing the piano, wave them through. In the meantime, don't forget your back. You're squeezing the shoulder blades in while you're doing this movement. Lovely. Make this the last one. You're gonna bring your arms down. Now we're gonna rotate your body. You can see on the camera, my shoulder face the front. Have a quick look at yourself if you've got a mirror or a camera somewhere that you can rotate evenly on both sides. Think about your hip as well. Now start thinking about the weight on your foot. So as I rotate this direction, this foot has more weight on it. As I rotate this side, this foot has more weight on it. So now we start to remind ourselves what transferring weight from one foot to the other. This is also a very important movement in life. Imagine you just tripped over something and trying to regain balance, and it's how you can shift the weight to your other foot so you don't really go over the foot that you just tripped on. So do pay attention on that. It's really worth working on. Okay, so we're going to bring our hands here. Now we're going to do some chest push. You're going to push your chest open, draw your shoulder blades out, open and close. So my upper back is curving and uncurving. Pay attention that it's just the shoulder blades and your chest doing it. So your lower back here is keeping straight. I'm just trying to open up between my shoulder blades. I'm going to push, squeeze, push, squeeze, push. A few more times. Super. Okay, so we're going to take it into a march. We're going to start by just the legs first. I'm just going to tuck my shirt in so you can see this white waistband here. What I'm aiming to do is keeping my hip level. If I'm lifting my knee so much that my hip is not level, that's no good. So we're thinking about control. Lift your knee as high as your hip would stay level. Good, lovely. Now we'll start thinking about coordination. It's opposite hand, opposite knee, opposite hand, opposite knee. I'm going to give you a few more seconds before we move on to more coordination. The next thing we're going to do, every 3 steps, we're going to go higher knee. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. 2, 3, pause. So we're alternating the high knee pause. Really think about it, coordinate it, get this right, then the rest is going to be easy. Moving on to some back mobilization. So we're going to start with a discus. So we're going to pretend we're holding a discus in our dominant hand. We're going to put 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. We're going to rotate our body, aiming to throw this discus. For now, we're going to keep it nice and gentle, fluid movement. We don't want to click our back out for now. So let's focus on this rear leg here. We're driving through, we're coming onto the tiptoe as you rotate through. Your weight should go from the rear leg, transferring over to the front leg as you rotate the body through. For now, we're looking for correct movement and a symmetrical movement rather than power or force. So think about that small, tiny adjustment to control your movement. One more. Let's switch to the other side. So it is very important to make everything symmetrical. So we're now doing a non-dominant hand discus throwing. So get your foot, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Rotating through. Take it small first, gradually getting further. And that's it. It always feels a bit awkward doing it with your non-dominant arm, which is so important that we always do both sides and try to make it symmetrical, just so that we can balance better. Drive through the rear foot. You should feel your bum squeezes at the top where your discus is about to release off your hand. So again, shifting weight from the rear foot to the front foot. Rear foot to front foot. And take a pause. You're going to move on to the next one. Where now, after discus, is javelin. So we're going to imagine weight behind, weight in front. So we're going to start with weight behind, holding the javelin behind you. And then I'm going to shift the weight forward first before we throw it. Okay, so we're looking for that shift of body weight again to gain yourself that balance. This is really important in everyday life, because if you were accidentally tripped over something, if you can quickly shift your weight to your other foot, that's potentially going to save you from really falling over and hurting yourself. This is old and young alike. This is for everybody. So think about rear foot, shifting more weight through, driving through other foot. 2 more times, we're going to switch leg. The non-dominant arm, sometimes always a bit awkward. So again, we're going to start with arm behind, weight on rear foot to the front foot. The temptation for the non-dominant arm is dropping the elbow because it's weaker, but we're going to keep it nice and high by your shoulder height. You can use the other arm to help you by pointing it forward and then take that throw. You will find there is also a twist of your body as well, because your hip, it's facing this way now, and by the time we throw, your hip is facing forward. So keep going a few more times. It's javelin. Pushing through your rear leg, coming onto your tippy toes at the back. And relax. The next thing we're going to do is hurdle. We're still on this Olympic theme here. So for now we're going to pretend it's just a small hurdle. We're trying to lift your leg over it. We're going to go out, round, over. The focus being, I'm just going to tuck my shirt in so you can see this white waistband. I'm trying to keep my hip level as I do this. There's no point lifting your knee high if you were to lose balance and twist your hip. So I'm going to keep it absolutely level while we hurdle over this very small hurdle for now. So open your knee out wide, come down. We're going to do 3 at this height, and then we're going to gradually go a little bit higher. Okay, so find the height that you can go to without twisting your hip or without losing that level hip. This is basically as high as I could go. Go to where it's suitable for you. 2 more, and switch side. Knee to the outside, here. So you find most of the weight, it's on the anchoring leg. So you're also balancing at the same time. Picture that little hurdle, and you're really trying to get your foot over it and without catching it. The more we're able to lift your knee up, the less likely you would trip. Common sense, right? Very important. A little bit higher. That's it. Keeping the hip level. Very good. Last few times. 2, 3, and pause here. We're now going to look at doing some balancing work. So, the first thing we're going to do, we're looking to lift the knee again, and then we're going to gradually add more complicated moves. So just knee up to the point where you can keep your hip level. Knee up, knee up. The other leg, knee up, knee up. Very simple. Okay, so now we've got this. We're going to add the rear foot in. So we're going to pretend we're walking or running. We're going to go knee up, bringing the leg behind you. Pay attention, you're not tilting forward like this. You're keeping your back straight. You're using your glutes muscle, your bum, to lift that leg behind you. Knee up, behind. Up, behind. If you've got the coordination, add the arm. That's opposite hand, opposite knee. Grounding that anchoring leg. If your ankles start to wobble, that's okay. Let it do what it does to stabilize your stance. A few more times and switch. Okay, so knee up, behind you. So you're aiming not to catch the ground, and you're keeping that leg up. Really extend through as though someone's pulling your leg behind. But your movement is very controlled. Keeping that back straight. There should be no arching or no curving of the back. Really hold the core still. Good. A few more times. And pause. Let's add a little bit more dynamic movement to it. We're now going to go from curtsy and then to a squat. But we're going to do it slowly so we balance in the middle. So we're going to bring one foot behind the other, a small curtsy. So look at this body here. We're going straight up and down. There's no side bend. So like an elevator, straight up and down, straight up and down. Up and down, down. Make it a very controlled movement. Be really conscious of where you need to hold to keep yourself upright. So squeeze through your core, squeeze through your glutes, holding tight. And switch leg. Curtsy, small squat, curtsy, small squat. So this balancing position here is quite useful because we've got one leg crossover and it's not the easiest place to balance, so we can get this right. It's going to make other things easier. A few more times and pause. Super. Okay, so now we're going to bring yourself into just one foot, We're now going to lean forward as far as you can. If you want to open up your arm to get it balanced, great. So we're looking to use your glutes to hold your leg up here. If it's only there, fine. If you want to lean forward a little bit more, great. We're looking to really just balance on that one leg. Let's switch side first and we'll come back to it. So balancing on one leg, open up the arm, keep that hip level so that your ankle can balance you. Pay attention to your back now. Try not to arch it or curve it. Suck your belly in, engage your core. Keep holding and breathe. For 3, for 2, for 1. Pause. Switch side. Hover the leg out behind you. Lean forward. Open up the arm. Level out your hip. Scan yourself. Think about what your back is doing. Is your bum holding your leg up at the back? Is your back staying neutral? Holding for 3, 2, 1. One more time on the other side. Hover the leg up behind you. Pretend there's someone pulling it backwards so there's some tension. Lean forward. Hold. Keep scanning through the body. Which part is shaking? Which part needs you to hold it in a little bit more? Squeeze your belly in. Squeeze your bum tight. And relax. Coming back in here. If you have a couple of books on hand or a couple of tins of beans, great. This is where we're going to bring them in. I've got my favorite Greek mythology books here. We're going to hold them up like a waiter. I call it waiter lift. So I'm making a W shape with my arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together. So we're really using your shoulders and your arm as well. So, and then we're going to lift it up, down, up, down. If I show you sideways, my arms are level with my body. So they're not in front or back. They're totally in line with my body. And I'm controlling this movement by squeezing my shoulder blades in. And it's really important to use those little muscles because those are the muscles that stabilize your shoulder joint. And again, 2, 3, and pause. We're going to come back to this. Pop your books down. We're going to go into crab walk, which just means we're going to step sideways. So pay attention when we step sideways that your back is not arched out like this, it's not tucked in like this, it's nice and flat. So focus on flattening your back, walk sideways, and then we're going to start to speed it up. Don't cross your feet at the front, stay balanced. Think about keeping the center of gravity in the middle so you're balanced. Right, quicker now. And again. And in 5 seconds, we're going to switch back to the waiter hold again. 3, 2, 1. Grab your book or your tins. Holding these trays of champagne. And we're going to lift. Good. Squeeze the shoulder blades in. Elbows out. Feel the weight. Flexing your palm out. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop them down. Back to crab walk. Sit low a little bit. Sideways. This movement is important to use these muscles. So these are the muscles that keep your legs hip width apart when you walk or jog or run, just so that you don't end up catching your own leg and losing your balance and kicking your own leg. Speed it up now, here we go. A little bit quicker. Step, step, side. Step, step, side. Step, step, side. Step, step, side. 5, 4, 3, 2, and pause. So now we're going to add 2 movements together. We have 1 book on the left side here. We've got 1 book on the right side here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to crab walk, and then we're going to pick up this book. And as we pick it up, we're trying to use all your muscles to do it rather than just bending over. As you all know, bend over to pick up anything, even if it's a feather, it's quite dangerous. So we're trying to use the big muscles to help you do this movement rather than just little muscles there, which means you're compromising your joints. So let's do it together. Slightly bend, side walk. You're gonna have your object directly underneath you. You're gonna squat down, bend your knees, lift it. You're gonna lift it all the way high, and back. Crab walk, other arm, squat down, above you, squat down, and everything that you pick up on the ground, you're aiming to squat down, bring it up through the midline of your body, just so that it's safe. And again, there, pop down, a few more on each side, step, step, squat, pick up, above arm. Make sure you're using both arms, because we're looking for symmetry, right? Both arms need to be able to do the same thing. And one more time on that side. Bend down, squat up. Super, well done. We're going to come down into the mat now. The first thing we're going to do is to check your back position first. We're going to rotate your hip a few times. If you had a tail between your legs, you're going to tuck it between your legs and then stick it out, tuck, stick it out, tuck, and stick it out. So it's a pelvic tilt and tuck. Once you've done a few times, you're now going to try and find a neutral position so that your lower back is pressed against the mat. Once you got this position, open up the hand into a T shape. Bring your knee up towards your chest, and we're going to slowly drop them either side of your body. We're just going to start nice and easy first, and then we're going to gradually let it go a little bit further. It's not a competition, so it's not about how far you go, but about controlling the movement. So every time you lift it up, you're breathing in, and you exhale to let it come down. As you come down, you're using your core muscles to stop it from dropping like a dead weight. So you're counteracting the gravity. In the meantime, we're also mobilizing our lower back. If your back does not allow you to do this, skip forward, do something else. A few more times. Think about a control movement. And back to the center. From here, we're going to do a heel tap. We're going to do one leg at a time, so I'm going to keep one foot grounded on the floor. We're going to lift one up, and then before you touch the mat, we're going to lift it again. So before you touch it, we're going to lift it again. Really focusing on keeping that lower back touching the mat. You do this by squeezing your belly in, engaging your core. If you find this is too easy for you, get this leg a little bit straightened out, and then you can go. That will give you a longer lever, which would make the movement more difficult and more challenging. That is, if you're able to control your lower back. There's no point trying to do something difficult but compromising on form. So think about control. And pause. Switch leg. So either bend knee, but you're aiming to not touch the ground, but you're going to come back up again. If you need a more of a challenging option, straight out that leg a little bit further, and it's straight up and down. One leg at a time. A few more times. Scan down your body, check your back, check the foot that is on the ground. Are you splaying out the toes? Is your whole foot in contact? And one more. Great, so now we're going to go alternating. We're going to either go bend knee, alternating tap, however we're not actually touching the mat. We're going to lift it up before you touch it. Lift it up before you touch it. If you need something more of a challenge, get your leg a little bit straighter, and then you can scissor kick it. Be really careful about your lower back. Only do it if your lower back is sticking to the mat. If not, bring the knee closer to the chest. It's more effective if you have good form. A few more times. And pause. Great. So, one last thing. Now we're going to go squeezing the knees together. So there's no gap. If you got a little towel, you can put it between your knees and you can squeeze it together. We're going to go knee to chest, and then we're slowly going to roll out. Knee to chest, roll it out. Again, if your back starts to lift, then do a smaller movement. Bring the knee closer to your chest. If this is not challenging enough for you, go a little bit further. Back in, further. Pick the one that suits you. Pick the one that suits your back. Everybody is different, so respect your body's limit. 3 more times. 3, 2, 1, and pause. Hug those knees in. Draw some little circles. Mobilize your back. And pause. We're going to finish with a couple of stretches. So, we're going to start off with lying down again. We're going to hold one knee to the chest. So it's not about how close the knee is to your chest, it's about how much you feel the stretch. We're looking for about 20 to 30% of the stretch. You should feel somewhere around in your hip area. So once you feel it, breathe through it, and you're going to gently push your knee out against your hand, only by a little bit, about 10% of your effort. And breathe. And then we're going to open up that leg, so it's to the side. Same again, you're going to give it some gentle tugging with the arm and some gentle push with the knee. 10% of your effort. Little push. And hold. And breathe. The next breath in, you're going to now do the opposite. You're going to bring the leg across your body, but not to the point when your back is lifting off the mat. So you're going to keep the hip on the mat, just bring the knee slightly across the middle of your body. That should be enough. Same again, a gentle tug with your hand, a gentle push out with your knee, equal and opposite. 10% of your effort. And breathe. One more breath. Switch leg. Knee into the chest, in line with the body, down the middle. Gentle push out with the knee, gentle tug with the arm. And now I'm going to switch position. Bring the knee out to the side. Little tug with the hand. Little push with the knee. And keep breathing. Next breath in. Bring it across your body. Little tug, little push. 10% effort. If this stretch doesn't work for you, skip it. Let's do a different stretch. And pause. Hug both knees in again. Some very gentle rocking. Think about tilting your pelvic bone. Little rock. And breathe. Drop your feet to the ground. Hand on the floor. We're going to drop both knees to the side. And then we're going to come up from your side. Okay, from here we're going to come up to standing. We're going to do 3 releases before we finish. So follow me. You're going to take a deep breath in. Squat down. Sweep through the ground. Breathe in. Reach high. As we breathe out, we're going to let it drop, let it go. Control movement. Breathe in, reach, breathe out, let it drop. One last time. Breathe in, big sweep. And breathe out, let it go. Lovely to see you all. Until next week, my name is Emily. You can follow me on Try Coach Emily for my other exercise sessions. Bye now.